The lawyer's voice was measured, professional, like he was explaining a simple contract, not our family's destruction. The Harrison Family Trust is structured with a zero-sum distribution mechanism. Total annual payout is $10 million, distributed among 5 beneficiaries. But here's the unique aspect. Each beneficiary's share is inversely proportional to the aggregate shares of the others. My brother Marcus spoke first. What does that mean in English? It means if one person gets more, everyone else gets less. The trust is designed so that your individual shares are in competition with each other. Silence. We all processed that. So, if I get 2 million, my sister Claire said slowly, that's 2 million less for the rest of you to split. Exactly. The distribution formula adjusts quarterly based on a point system. Points are awarded for specific criteria outlined in the trust document: family engagement, professional achievement, personal conduct, community service. Each category has a maximum point allocation. Your quarterly payout is determined by your percentage of total family points. So we're competing, and I said, for money, against each other. Essentially, yes. My mother, Victoria Harrison, sat silent, stone-faced. This was her father's trust. Grandfather William Harrison, dead 6 months, and apparently determined to destroy his family from beyond the grave. Why would he do this? My youngest brother Ethan asked. He was 23, fresh out of college. This was supposed to be his safety net. Instead, it was a battlefield. The lawyer, Mr. Patterson, pulled out a letter. Sealed envelope. He left this to be read after the trust mechanics were explained. He opened it, read aloud. To my family, I've watched you all my life. Watched you take, expect, assume. You believed my wealth was yours by birthright. You never earned it, never appreciated it, never understood its value. So I'm teaching you. This trust will force you to compete, to strategize, to make choices. Do you cooperate and share equally? Do you compete and maximize individual gain? Do you manipulate and betray for advantage? The choice is yours, but understand, there is no right answer, only consequences. Every family gathering will now have stakes. Every conversation will carry weight. Every relationship will be tested by the question, how much is your love worth in dollars? I'm curious to see what you choose. Good luck, William Harrison. The room stayed silent, absorbing, processing, realizing. Grandfather had turned our family into a game, and we were the pieces. My name is Daniel Harrison. I'm 35 years old. I'm the middle child of 5 siblings. And I just inherited a trust fund designed to make us hate each other. Let me explain how we got here. Grandfather William Harrison made his fortune in manufacturing, started with nothing, built an empire, sold it for $800 million when he was 65. He was brilliant, ruthless, strategic. Everything was calculated, every decision measured. He didn't believe in handouts, didn't believe in inheritance without strings. Money ruins people, he'd say, especially inherited money. Makes them soft, entitled, useless. We thought he was joking or exaggerating or just being difficult in his old age. Turns out he was serious, deadly serious. The trust he created officially, the Harrison Family Trust, held $200 million, set up to pay out $10 million annually to his 5 grandchildren. That's me, Marcus, Claire, Ethan, and our sister Sophia. $2 million each per year, for life, assuming equal distribution. But equal distribution was never the plan. The point system was complex, intentionally complex, designed to create ambiguity, subjectivity, conflict. Family engagement points. Maximum 100 points. Attending family gatherings, 5 points per event. Organizing family events, 10 points per event. Regular communication with relatives, 2 points per week. Supporting family members in crisis, 20 points per incident. Maintaining family property, 15 points per quarter. Professional achievement points, maximum 100 points. Annual income over 100,000, 10 points. Annual income over 250,000, 20 points. Annual income over 500,000, 30 points. Starting a business, 25 points. Receiving professional awards, 15 points per award. Publishing work, 10 points per publication. Personal conduct, points. Maximum, 100 points. Maintaining physical health, verified by doctor, 15 points. Maintaining mental health, verified by therapist, 15 points. No criminal record, 25 points. No substance abuse issues, 25 points. Stable relationships, married 5+ years, 20 points. Community service points, maximum 100 points. Volunteer hours, 1 point per 10 hours. Charitable donations, 1 point per $1,000 donated. Board service for nonprofits, 20 points per board. Professional pro bono work, 15 points per quarter. Maximum possible points per quarter, 400. If we all performed equally, we'd each get 2 million annually. Simple, fair. But grandfather knew we wouldn't perform equally. Couldn't. Our lives were too different, our circumstances too varied, and he'd built in mechanisms to ensure conflict. The supporting family members in crisis category. Subjective. Who determines what's a crisis? Who decides if support was adequate? The trustee? Who was Mr. Patterson, who was instructed to use his reasonable judgment, which meant he could be influenced, lobbied, manipulated? The game had begun before we'd even realized we were playing. The first quarterly assessment was 3 months after the reading. We gathered at the family estate. Mandatory attendance 5 points for showing up. Everyone came, of course, everyone came. 5 points was the difference between getting 2 million or 1.9 million. Nobody was stupid enough to skip. Mr. Patterson presented the results. Total family points this quarter, 1,215. Distribution as follows. Daniel Harrison, 285 points, 23.46%. Payout, $2,346,000. Marcus Harrison, 260 points, 21.4%. Payout, $2,140,000. Claire Harrison, 245 points, 20.16%. Payout, $2,016,000. Sophia Harrison, 225 points, 18.52%. Payout, $1,852,000. Ethan Harrison, 200 points, 16.46%. Payout, $1,646,000. Silence. Everyone calculating, realizing the implications. I'd gotten the most, 346,000 more than my fair share, which meant everyone else got less. Marcus was first to speak. How did Daniel get 85 more points than me? Mr. Patterson consulted his notes. Daniel organized 2 family events, the Easter brunch and the Memorial Day barbecue. 20 points. He also provided support during Sophia's divorce, 20 points. Additionally, he published an article in a legal journal, 10 points. That accounts for 50 points. The remaining 35 came from consistent weekly communication with family members and higher professional achievement scores. What professional achievement? We are both lawyers. We make similar money. Daniel's income this quarter was $295,000. Marcus's was $180,000. Daniel received 30 professional achievement points. Marcus received 20. That's bullshit. We work at the same firm. Different practice areas, different client loads, different billable hours. The trust doesn't judge fairness, only outcomes. Marcus glared at me. You've been strategizing, gaming the system. I hadn't. Not consciously. I'd just lived my life. But I'd gotten lucky. Busy quarter, big case, good income. I'd also happened to host two family gatherings because I had the space and time. But Marcus didn't see luck. He saw strategy, competition, threat. I'm not gaming anything, I said. Right, you just coincidentally racked up 85 more points than me. Pure accident. It is an accident. I didn't save it. I see what this is now. We're competing. Fine. Let's compete. Claire spoke up. Or we could cooperate, share information, help each other maximize points collectively. Why would I help you get more points when that directly reduces my payout? Marcus said. Because we're family? Family is great, but I have bills, a mortgage, kids, I need money, real money. And this trust is the only way I'm getting it. Sophia jumped in. So you're just going to screw all of us over for a few $100,000? A few 100,000? That's real money, Sophia. Maybe not to you with your tech stock options, but to normal people, that matters. I don't have stock options anymore. I got divorced, lost everything. That's why I need this trust. And Daniel just took almost 400,000 that should have been distributed equally. They all turned to me, accusing, resentful. I didn't take anything, I said. The trust allocated based on points. That's the system grandfather set up. Exactly, Ethan said quietly. Grandfather set this up, not us. He wanted this, wanted us fighting, so maybe we shouldn't give him what he wants. Easy for you to say, Marcus shot back. You got the least. You have the most to gain from equal distribution, but that's not how this works. The points are the rules. We follow the rules. Even if it destroys us, Ethan asked. It's not destroying anything. It's just money. It's never just money. And that's when I realized Ethan was right. This wasn't about money. It was about what money represented: value, worth, love. Grandfather had weaponized all of it, and we'd walked right into his trap. The second quarter, strategies emerged. Marcus started hosting weekly family dinners. Every Sunday, mandatory attendance if you wanted to be supportive. 5 points per dinner times 13 weeks, 65 points. Claire started a charity, nominal, barely functional, but it gave her board service points and volunteer hours. 40 points per quarter. Sophia began scheduling therapy sessions, not because she needed them, but because maintaining mental health was worth 15 points. She also joined a gym, saw a doctor monthly, and documented everything meticulously. Ethan got engaged. 20 points for stable relationship, potential. And I did nothing different, continued my normal life. Work, occasional family contact, no strategy, no gaming. I got destroyed. Second quarter results. Marcus, 325 points, 28%, 2,800,000. Claire, 300 points, 26%, 2,600,000. Sophia, 280 points, 24%, 2,400,000. Ethan, 255 points, 22%, 2,200,000. Daniel, 190 points, 20%, 2 million. I'd gone from first to last. Lost 346,000 in 1 quarter. At the family gathering, Marcus's house, 5 points for attending. Everyone was smug. Except me. You should have strategized, Claire said. Not mean, just factual. I'm not playing this game. Too late. You're already playing. You're just losing. Marcus poured wine. Expensive wine. Celebrating. This quarter proved it. Effort matters. Strategy matters. If you want money, you work for it. This isn't work. It's manipulation. It's optimization. There's a system. We optimize within it. That's not manipulation. That's intelligence. Sophia agreed. Daniel, you can be idealistic all you want, but the rest of us have real needs, real obligations. We can't afford to opt out. So we're just going to spend the rest of our lives gaming a point system, hosting fake dinners and attending fake events and pretending it's family bonding? It is family bonding, Marcus said. We're together every Sunday. That's more than we ever were before. We're together because of points, not because we want to be. Does the motivation matter if the outcome is positive? Yes, obviously, yes. Ethan spoke quietly. Daniel's right. This is toxic. We're not bonding. We're competing. Every conversation is strategic. Every gesture calculated. This isn't family. It's theater. Then leave, Marcus said flatly. Refuse your payout. Opt out. More for the rest of us. You'd actually want that? Want me to leave? If you're not going to participate meaningfully, yeah. This is a competition. Competitors who don't compete are just dead weight. We're brothers. And I love you. But that doesn't mean I'm giving up hundreds of thousands of dollars so you can feel morally superior. The room went quiet. The truth laid bare. Money mattered more than relationships. Points mattered more than family. Grandfather's system was working exactly as designed, and we were all complicit. Third quarter, the alliances formed. Marcus and Claire teamed up, coordinated their events. She'd host one week, he'd host the next. They'd attend each other's gatherings, support each other's charities, share resources, maximize points collectively while minimizing effort. Their reasoning, 2 people cooperating beat 4 competing individually. Sophia and Ethan remained independent. Sophia because she didn't trust anyone. Ethan because he was genuinely trying to live authentically despite the system. Me? I was still idealistic, still refusing to play, still losing. Third quarter results, Marcus, 350 points, 29%, 2,900,000. Claire, 330 points, 27.5%, 2,750,000. Sophia, 270 points, 22.5%, 2,250,000. Ethan, 240 points, 20%, 2 million. Daniel, 160 points, 13.3%, 1,330,000. I'd lost almost 700,000 from my first quarter payout because I refused to play a game I hated. The family gathering was tense. Marcus and Claire celebrated. Sophia seethed. Ethan looked depressed. And me? I was numb. This is unsustainable, and I said, we can't keep doing this. Why not? Marcus asked. It's working for me. It's destroying us. No, it's revealing us, showing who actually values family versus who just talks about it. You think hosting dinners shows you value family? You're buying attendance with points. That's not value. That's bribery. Call it what you want. People show up. We spend time together. That's more than happened before grandfather died. He wasn't wrong. Before the trust, we barely saw each other. Holidays maybe, occasional texts, everyone living separate lives. Now we gathered weekly, talked daily, coordinated constantly, but it wasn't connection, it was strategy. Every interaction transactional, every conversation calculated. I'd rather have distance than this fake closeness, I said. Then have distance. Nobody's forcing you to participate. The trust is forcing me. If I don't participate, I lose money. Then participate or don't. But stop complaining about the rules while still taking the money. He had a point. I was being hypocritical, hating the system while benefiting from it. Even my reduced payout was 1.3 million, more than most people made in 5 years, but it felt dirty, tainted, every dollar a reminder of what we'd become. Claire tried to mediate. Maybe we can find a middle ground. Daniel, you don't have to game the system, but you could participate more genuinely. Come to events because you want to. Support people because you care. The points will follow naturally. The points won't follow naturally. You all are engineering them. There's nothing natural about this. So, what do you suggest? We all just stop trying? Go back to equal distribution? Yes, exactly that. That's not an option. The trust is structured this way. We can't change it. We can choose not to optimize it. We can choose to be family first, competitors second. Marcus laughed, bitter. Family first. That's rich coming from you. You act all superior, but you're still cashing the checks. If you really believed in family first, you'd refuse the money entirely. Give your share to the rest of us. But you won't, because you like money just as much as we do. You just like feeling morally superior more. That's not fair. It's completely fair. You want all the benefits of the trust without any of the obligations. Well, tough shit. That's not how it works. You want money, you earn points. You want points, you participate. You want to opt out, then actually opt out. But don't sit here collecting over $1 million while judging the rest of us for trying to maximize our shares. He was right. I hated that he was right, but he was. I was being self-righteous, performatively principled, taking the money while condemning the system. Either I needed to fully commit to refusing, give up my share entirely, or I needed to stop judging everyone else for playing the game. I chose the latter, not because I wanted to, but because I couldn't afford not to. I had student loans, a mortgage, a life that required income, and 1.3 million was better than zero. So, fourth quarter, I played. I started attending Marcus's dinners, hosting my own events, volunteering, donating, optimizing. I hated every minute, but I did it. Fourth quarter results. Marcus, 370 points, 29%, 2,900,000. Claire, 360 points, 28%, 2,800,000. Daniel, 320 points, 25%, 2,500,000. Sophia, 290 points, 23%, 2,300,000. Ethan, 190 points, 15%, 1,500,000. I jumped from last to third, added 1.2 million to my annual income. By doing things I resented, for reasons I despised. But the money was real, and rent was due, and principals didn't pay bills. Ethan confronted me after the results. I thought you weren't playing. I changed my mind. Why? Because I have bills, and because Marcus was right. I was being hypocritical. So now you're going to be just like them, strategic, manipulative. I'm going to be practical. There's a difference. Is there? Because from where I'm sitting, you've just joined the people you criticized. Then maybe you should join too, because you're getting crushed. 1.5 million. That's almost 1 million less than Marcus. I don't care about Marcus's money. I care about my integrity. Integrity doesn't pay for your wedding, or your honeymoon, or your future. Money does. Since when did you become so cynical? Since I realized grandfather was right. Money changes people, and not having enough money changes them more. Ethan walked away, disappointed, disillusioned, and I felt like shit because he was right. I'd changed, become exactly what I'd criticized: strategic, calculating, focused on points over principles. The trust was winning. Grandfather was winning. We were all becoming exactly what he'd predicted: competitors prioritizing money over family. And the worst part, I couldn't stop. Because now that I'd tasted success, that extra $1 million, I couldn't go back to losing. I was hooked. We all were. Fifth quarter, things escalated. Sophia hired a consultant. Actual consultant, specialized in trust optimization, paid him $50,000 to analyze the point system and develop a strategy. His recommendations: maximize family engagement through hosting and coordination, create a charity to generate community service points, publish monthly blog posts to hit publication points, join 3 nonprofit boards, Document everything obsessively. Sophia followed every recommendation, became a point accumulation machine. Fifth quarter results. Sophia, 410 points, 31%, 3,100,000. Claire, 370 points, 28%, 2,800,000. Marcus, 350 points, 26%, 2,600,000. Daniel, 290 points, 22%, 2,200,000. Ethan, 180 points, 13%, 1,300,000. Sophia had cracked it, found the optimal strategy, and destroyed us all. At the gathering her house, she was racking up hosting points. She was smug, victorious, insufferable. "It's not personal," she said. "It's just strategy." "It feels personal," Claire said. "You deliberately optimized to beat us." "That's the game. We're all playing it." "But hiring a consultant? That's taking it too far." "Why?" "The trust doesn't prohibit consultants. I found an edge. Used it. That's smart." Marcus was fuming. "You spent 50,000 to gain an extra million. That's a 2,000% return. Well played." "Thank you." "It wasn't a compliment." "I know, but I'm taking it as one." The tension was palpable. We'd moved from friendly competition to open warfare. Every gathering now a battlefield. Every conversation a negotiation. And grandfather's ghost was laughing. Sixth quarter, everyone hired consultants. Arms race. 50,000 became table stakes. The consultants all recommended similar strategies: maximize hosting and attendance, create multiple charities for board service points, publish prolifically, blogs, articles, anything. Document every interaction for family support claims. Game the professional achievement through side businesses. We all did it, every single one of us except Ethan, who refused on principle. Sixth quarter results: Claire, 430 points, 30%, 3 million. Sophia, 420 points, 29%, 2,900,000. Marcus, 400 points, 28%, 2,800,000. Daniel, 380 points, 26%, 2,600,000. Ethan, 170 points, 12%, 1,200,000. We'd all maxed out, all hit saturation. The top four were within 50 points of each other, competing at the margins, fighting for tiny advantages, and Ethan was getting destroyed. 1.2 million. Less than half of Claire's payout, because he refused to play. At the gathering rotating schedule now, we all hosted monthly. Ethan exploded. "This is insane. You're all spending $50,000 on consultants to game a system that's designed to tear us apart. Can't you see what's happening?" "We see," Marcus said calmly. "We're optimizing. You're destroying our family." "The family is fine. We see each other every week. We're closer than ever." "We're not close. We're strategic partners. Every conversation is calculated. Every gesture has ulterior motives. This isn't family. This is a business arrangement." "Maybe family is a business arrangement," Sophia said. "Maybe grandfather understood that relationships are transactional, whether we admit it or not. He just made it explicit. That's the most cynical thing I've ever heard." "It's realistic. People do things for reasons, usually selfish reasons. The trust just acknowledges that reality." "I don't believe that. I believe people can love without conditions, without calculations." "Then you're naive," Claire said. "Every relationship has conditions. The trust just makes them visible." Ethan looked at all of us, one by one. "You've all changed. You used to be my siblings, people I loved. Now you're competitors, strangers. I don't even know you anymore." "We're the same people we always were," I said. "The trust just revealed who we actually are, not who we pretended to be." So you're saying we're all secretly greedy assholes who only care about money? I'm saying we're human, and humans respond to incentives. Grandfather created an incentive structure. We're responding to it. That's not evil. That's biology. It's bullshit, and I won't be part of it anymore. What does that mean? It means I'm out. I'm done playing. I'm refusing my distributions. Silence. Shocked silence. You can't refuse, Marcus said. The trust is irrevocable. You're a beneficiary. You get a payout whether you want it or not. Then I'll donate it, every penny, to charity. I won't touch grandfather's blood money. That's stupid. That's over $1 million a year. I don't care. I'd rather be broke and have integrity than rich and soulless. He walked out. Actually walked out. Left the gathering, left the family, left the game. And I felt something break inside me. Because he was right. We had become soulless, strategic, empty. But I didn't follow him. None of us did. Because the money was too good. The game too addictive. Grandfather had won. Completely and totally won. Seventh quarter, Ethan's absence changed the dynamics. With only 4 of us competing, the point thresholds shifted. We each needed fewer points to hit the same percentage. The competition became slightly less intense, but only slightly. Seventh quarter results: Claire, 420 points, 31%, 3,100,000. Sophia, 400 points, 29%, 2,900,000. Marcus, 380 points, 28%, 2,800,000. Daniel, 350 points, 26%, 2,600,000. Ethan, 0 points, refused participation, 14%, 1,400,000, donated. Even refusing to participate, Ethan still got a payout. The trust required it. He donated it to homeless shelters, documented proof sent to Mr. Patterson, making a statement. The rest of us just kept grinding, kept optimizing, kept playing. But something had shifted. Ethan's departure created a vacuum, a moral vacuum. Without him as the conscience, the voice of reason, we descended further into pure strategy. Eighth quarter, betrayals started. Marcus and Claire's alliance fractured. She accused him of stealing one of her charity contacts. He claimed it was coincidental. She didn't believe him. Their hosting rotation ended. Their coordination stopped. They became competitors again. Eighth quarter results. Sophia, 440 points, 32%, 3,200,000. Claire, 400 points, 29%, 2,900,000. Marcus, 380 points, 28%, 2,800,000. Daniel, 330 points, 24%, 2,400,000. Ethan, 0 points, 15%, 1,500,000, donated. Sophia had pulled ahead, again, through ruthless optimization. She'd found new charity boards, started a podcast to hit publication points, hired a second consultant. She was winning, and we were losing. The family gatherings became hostile, arguments, accusations, passive-aggressive comments disguised as concern. Daniel, you look tired. Are you okay? Translation, you're slacking, losing points. Marcus, interesting article choice for publication. Translation, that barely counts. Claire, lovely event, though attendance was lower than usual. Translation, poor hosting doesn't earn maximum points. Every interaction weaponized. Every gesture strategic. Every word calculated. We'd become exactly what grandfather predicted. People for whom love was conditional on financial advantage. Ninth quarter, I broke. Not dramatically, not with a grand gesture. Just quietly stopped trying, stopped hosting events, stopped attending religiously, stopped gaming the system. Because I realized I'd been playing for 2 years, had accumulated over $5 million in distributions, and I was miserable. Absolutely miserable. The money hadn't bought happiness. It had bought stress, anxiety, paranoia, every family interaction fraught with ulterior motives, every dollar tainted by competition. I wanted out, really out, like Ethan. But I couldn't walk away entirely. So I half-assed it. Minimum participation, minimum points, minimum effort. Ninth quarter results? Sophia, 460 points, 35%, 3,500,000. Claire, 420 points, 32%, 3,200,000. Marcus, 390 points, 30%, 3 million. Ethan, 0 points, 17%, 1,700,000. Donated. Daniel, 230 points, 18%, 1,800,000. I'd fallen to last, below Ethan's donated amount, because I'd stopped caring. And you know what? It felt liberating, genuinely liberating. At the gathering, nobody even commented. They'd written me off, dead weight, not a threat, which meant I could just exist. Attend because I had to, but not compete, not strategize, not play. For the first time in 2 years, I felt like myself again. 10th quarter, Sophia made a mistake. She claimed family support points for helping Marcus through a mental health crisis. 20 points. Except Marcus was fine. No crisis. She'd fabricated it. Marcus found out, contested the points, demanded review. Mr. Patterson investigated. Confirmed, no crisis. No legitimate support. Sophia had lied. Penalty, loss of 20 points plus 50-point penalty for fraud. 10th quarter results, Claire, 440 points, 34%, 3,400,000. Marcus, 420 points, 32%, 3,200,000. Sophia, 390 points, minus 70 for fraud, 25%, 2,500,000. Daniel, 250 points, 19%, 1,900,000. Ethan, 0 points, 18%, 1,800,000, donated. Sophia lost $1 million for cheating, dropped from first to third, her carefully constructed system crumbling. At the gathering, she was defensive. I believed it was a crisis. Marcus was stressed. I helped. That should count. I was stressed about work, Marcus said. That's not a mental health crisis. That's normal life. You lied to gain points. I didn't lie. I interpreted generously. You committed fraud. The trust document is vague. Crisis is subjective. I made a judgment call. And you were wrong. And penalized. Actions have consequences. The irony was rich. Marcus, who'd been strategizing and optimizing from day one, now playing moral arbiter, because Sophia had crossed a line he wouldn't. We all had lines, different lines, but lines nonetheless. Sophia had found hers by crossing it. 11th quarter, paranoia set in. Everyone suspicious of everyone. Every claimed point scrutinized. Every family support incident verified. We'd become investigators, auditors, cops policing each other. The gatherings were nightmares. Hostile, tense, barely civil. Claire accused Marcus of inflating his charitable donations. Marcus accused Claire of running a sham charity. I stayed quiet. Sophia raged about the unjust penalty. We were falling apart, completely falling apart. Mr. Patterson even commented. The trust was designed to promote family cohesion. It seems to be having the opposite effect. You think? I said sarcastically. Perhaps you should consider a collective agreement. Equal distribution regardless of points. The trust allows for beneficiary consensus to override the standard formula. Wait, we can override it? If all beneficiaries agree, yes. The trust document has a provision for unanimous consent distributions. Why didn't you tell us this before? I did. Page 47 of the trust document, section 12, beneficiary consensus clause. Nobody had read page 47. We'd been too focused on gaming the point system to understand the actual document. So we could have been splitting equally this whole time? Claire asked. If you'd all agreed, yes. Would you have agreed? I asked her. She hesitated. I don't know. Exactly, because the points gave advantage, and nobody wanted to give up their advantage. Marcus spoke up. I wouldn't have agreed. Not then, not now. I earned my points. I'm not giving them up for equality. Even if it means family peace? Family peace at the cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars? No, that's too expensive. And there it was. The truth laid bare again. Money mattered more than peace. Advantage mattered more than family. Grandfather had been right about all of us. 12th quarter year, 3 of the trust Ethan did something unexpected. He attended the gathering. First time in over a year, quiet, observant, didn't speak much. At the end, he asked to address everyone. I've been watching from outside, watching what this trust has done to all of you, and I need to tell you something. Grandfather left me a letter, separate from the main one. He said it should be read after 3 years. Today marks 3 years. He pulled out an envelope, opened it, read aloud. Dear Ethan, if you're reading this, 3 years have passed. By now, the family has likely splintered, relationships damaged, trust eroded. The others probably hate each other, and you probably hate me for creating this situation. I chose you to receive this letter because I knew you'd be the one to resist, the one to see through the game, the one to maintain integrity. Here's what I need you to know. The trust has a second phase. At the 5-year mark, the point system ends. The trust converts to equal distribution, permanently. The competition was never meant to last forever. It was meant to teach a lesson, to show what happens when money becomes the primary value, to demonstrate how quickly relationships deteriorate when financial incentive outweighs emotional connection. I wanted my grandchildren to feel it, really feel it, the corrosion, the paranoia, the hollowness of strategic love. And then I wanted them to have a choice. At year 5, when the points end, they can choose to repair, to rebuild, to remember what family actually means. Or they can choose to stay broken, to let the damage be permanent, to never recover. The choice is theirs, but they'll make it with full knowledge of what they've lost. Tell them, Ethan. Tell them there's an end. Tell them they can still choose differently. William Harrison. Silence. Complete, total silence. There's an end, Claire whispered. At 5 years. 2 more years of this. Then it stops. Why didn't Grandfather just tell us that? Because we needed to believe it was forever. Needed to commit fully. Make real choices, reveal real character. This was all a test, Sophia said. 3 years of competition and betrayal and family destruction was just a fucking test? A lesson. He called it a lesson. Same thing. Marcus stood up. So we've been tearing each other apart for nothing? For a game that was always going to end? Not for nothing. For exactly what Grandfather intended. To show us who we become when money is the priority. And who did we become? I asked. Ethan looked at me. Sad, disappointed. Exactly what he predicted. People for whom love became conditional on dollars. We sat with that, absorbing, processing, hating every word, because it was true. What do we do now? Claire asked. We have a choice. 2 more years of competing. Or we invoke the consensus clause now. Split equally, end the game early. Can we do that? Mr. Patterson said we could, if we all agree. All eyes turned to Marcus. He was the holdout, the one who'd always prioritized money over peace. He thought for a long time, calculating, weighing options. Finally, I'll agree on one condition. What condition? We acknowledge what happened. No pretending, no minimizing. We look at what we became and we own it. Because if we don't, we'll just do it again. Different game, same patterns. Agreed, I said. Agreed, Claire echoed. Agreed, Sophia whispered. Ethan nodded. Then it's done. We invoke consensus, equal distribution, effective next quarter. Mr. Patterson was summoned. Documents signed, consensus formalized. The game was over. But the damage remained. The next family gathering was strange. No points, no competition, no strategic positioning. Just family. Trying to be family again. It was awkward, uncomfortable. We'd forgotten how to interact without calculation. How's work? Claire asked me. Good, busy. You? Same. Got a new client, big account. That's great. Silence. What else to say without points as currency? Sophia tried. I'm thinking of shutting down my charity. It was only for points anyway. Seems dishonest to keep it running. I'll shut mine down too, Claire agreed. Same, Marcus said. We'd all created fake organizations for points. Now we were dismantling them, erasing the evidence of our strategic period. What about the consultants? I asked. Anyone still using them? Heads shook. No. The consultants were gone. Fired. Expensive reminders of our worst impulses. Ethan spoke. Grandfather was cruel, but he was right. We proved exactly what he predicted. That money corrupts. That incentives override values. That family love is conditional until proven otherwise. So what now? Sophia asked. We just accept we're terrible people and move on? We accept we're human people with flaws who made bad choices under perverse incentives, and we do better going forward. How? By choosing family over money. Every day, every interaction, we make that choice until it becomes natural again. Will it ever be natural again? Claire asked. I don't know, but we try. That's all we can do. For the next year 4 of the trust, we tried. Weekly gatherings, genuinely trying to reconnect. No points, no strategy, just showing up. It was hard. The habits of competition were deeply ingrained. Every conversation still felt transactional. Every gesture suspicious. But slowly, very slowly, we improved. Marcus apologized to me for the harsh words. I let money make me cruel. I'm sorry. I did the same. We all did. But you tried to resist, tried to maintain integrity. I crushed you for it. That was wrong. You were responding to incentives. Grandfather designed them specifically to trigger that response. That's not an excuse. No, but it's an explanation. And explanations help us do better. Claire and Sophia reconciled too. The fraud incident had created permanent tension, but they worked through it. Therapy, mediation, effort. I lied, Sophia admitted. I knew it wasn't a real crisis, but I wanted the points. I wanted to win. I'm sorry. I get it, Claire said. I would have done the same thing, probably did similar things without getting caught. We were all corrupted. Does that make it okay? No, but it makes it understandable. And forgiveness requires understanding. Even Ethan softened, started attending regularly, stopped donating his distributions, kept the money. Not because I need it, but because refusing was performative. I was being self-righteous. Money isn't inherently evil. What we do with it matters. I'm going to do good things. That's enough. Year 5 arrived. The point system officially ended. Equal distribution permanently instituted. 2 million per person. Every year, for life, no competition, no strategy, just family. At the final transition gathering, Mr. Patterson read one more letter. From grandfather, to be read at the 5-year mark. To my grandchildren, if you're reading this, you survived. 5 years of competition, 5 years of testing, 5 years of choosing money or family. I know you hate me. I would hate me too. What I did was cruel, intentionally cruel, but it was necessary. You were all spoiled, entitled. You believed wealth was your birthright, that my money was your money, that you'd done nothing to earn it but existed. I needed you to understand. Money corrupts. Incentives override intentions. And family love, real family love, must be chosen despite financial costs, not because of financial benefits. The point system was designed to fail, to create conflict, to reveal character, to show you what you become when money is the priority. Some of you resisted, some embraced it, some oscillated. All responses were valid, all were human, but now you know. You felt the corrosion, experienced the paranoia, lived the hollowness of conditional love, and now you get to choose. Do you let that experience destroy you? Or do you let it teach you? Money is a tool. Use it wisely. But never let it define your relationships. Never let it override your values. Never let it become more important than the people you love. That's the lesson, the only lesson that matters. I love you, all of you, equally, unconditionally, despite what the trust made you believe. William Harrison. We were crying, all of us, even Marcus, even Sophia, because grandfather had loved us in the cruelest possible way, but he'd loved us. And he'd taught us something we couldn't have learned any other way. That money is just money. And family is everything, but only if we choose it to be. After the reading, we sat in silence, processing, absorbing, accepting. Finally, Ethan spoke. So what now? We have the lesson. We have the money. We have each other. What do we do with it? We do better, I said. We build a family that grandfather would be proud of. Not because of our wealth, but despite it. How? We use the trust money for good. Create something meaningful. A foundation, scholarships, something that honors what we learned. Claire nodded. The Harrison Family Foundation, teaching financial literacy and family values, helping people avoid what we went through. I like it, Sophia said. Turn our damage into someone else's benefit. Marcus agreed. And we commit. No more strategic bullshit. No more manipulation. Just genuine family. If we're doing this, we're doing it for real. Agreed, we all said. And we meant it. The foundation launched 6 months later, teaching young people about money, about incentives, about how financial systems can corrupt relationships if you're not careful. We shared our story, anonymously, used it as a case study. Family destroyed by trust fund competition. Don't let this happen to you. It resonated. People learned. We helped hundreds of families avoid what we'd experienced. And in helping them, we healed ourselves. 10 years after grandfather's death, we gathered at the estate. All of us, including spouses and children now. The next generation. Learning from our mistakes, building differently. Marcus's daughter asked, "Did Grandpa William really make you compete for money?" He did. That's mean. It was, but it taught us something important. What? That love should never have a price tag. That family is more valuable than money. That relationships require choosing people over profit every single day. Did you learn the lesson? I looked around. At my siblings, my family, damaged but healing, scarred but growing. We are still learning every day, but yeah, I think we got the message. Grandfather's portrait hung on the wall, stern, judging, but I swear I saw the hint of a smile. He'd won, not by destroying us, but by teaching us the hardest way possible. We'd survived his lesson and we'd become better for it. Not in spite of the trust, but because of it. That was his gift, wrapped in cruelty, delivered through pain, but a gift nonetheless. We'd learned what money could do, what it could destroy, what it could reveal. And we'd chosen family anyway. That was worth more than $10 million a year. That was worth everything. The foundation became our redemption. But getting there took years of additional work, years of confronting what we'd become. Let me tell you about years 6 through 10, the healing years, the years where we learned that knowledge isn't the same as change, that understanding what went wrong doesn't automatically fix it. Year 6 started with optimism. The point system was gone, equal distribution established. We thought the hard part was over. We were wrong. The first test came at Thanksgiving, year 6, first major holiday with equal distribution. Marcus hosted, his house, his rules. Nothing wrong with that, except he'd become accustomed to hosting as strategy, to controlling gatherings for points, and the habit remained even when the incentive disappeared. "Dinner's at 5, he announced. "Sharp. Don't be late." Claire bristled. "Why does it have to be exactly 5? "Because that's dinner time. That's when normal families eat. We're not a normal family, and you're not the boss of us. I'm the host. I set the time. You're being controlling. I'm being organized. There's a difference." I watched this exchange, saw the old patterns emerging. Marcus asserting dominance through hosting, Claire resisting authority. Same dynamic as during the point system, just without points as excuse. Sophia noticed too. "Are we really fighting about dinner time?" "We're not fighting," Marcus said. "Claire's being difficult." "I'm being difficult? You're the one dictating." "Enough," Ethan cut in. "This is exactly what grandfather warned about. We learned the lesson intellectually, but we haven't changed behaviorally. We're still competing, still jockeying for position, just without official points." "I'm not competing," Marcus protested. "I'm just trying to host a nice meal." By controlling every detail, by making unilateral decisions, by treating us like subordinates instead of equals. That's not what I'm doing. Isn't it? You set the time. You planned the menu without asking anyone. You assigned seating without discussion. You're running this like a military operation. Why? Marcus sat down. Thought. Because that's what worked. During the point system, control meant points, planning meant success. I guess I'm still operating that way. We all are, I admitted. I've been tracking how often we communicate, keeping mental logs of who reaches out first, who responds faster. It's habit now. Even without points, I'm still scoring. Claire nodded. I've been doing the same, counting attendance, noting who shows up to what. It's automatic. Sophia added, I still have my consultant's spreadsheet. Still update it monthly, even though there's no reason to. The tracking is compulsive now. We'd been traumatized by the competition, conditioned by 3 years of strategic thinking. And even though the game ended, the reflexes remained. So what do we do? Ethan asked. We recognize it, I said. Call it out when we see it. Interrupt the patterns, choose different responses. Like right now. Marcus, you recognize you're being controlling? Yeah, I see it. So choose different. Ask us about dinner time. Ask about the menu. Make it collaborative. Okay, what time do you all want to eat? 5 is fine, Claire said, but I appreciate being asked. Small moment, but significant. We were learning to notice our conditioning, to interrupt it, to choose differently. Thanksgiving dinner was good. Not perfect, but good. We caught ourselves multiple times, falling into old patterns, then course correcting. By dessert, Sophia proposed something. We need accountability, structure, rules that prevent backsliding. What kind of rules? No hosting more than once per quarter prevents anyone from dominating through control. Agreed, we all said. No tracking of attendance or behavior. If someone can't make an event, that's okay. No scoring, no judging. Agreed. Mandatory therapy, individual and group. We need professional help processing what happened. Agreed. And complete financial transparency. We all make $2 million a year from the trust. No hiding it, no competing about other income. Just acknowledge we're financially equal baseline. That last one's hard, Marcus said. I make good money at my firm, more than the trust. It's hard not to mention it, not to feel superior because of it. I know, but that's exactly the pattern we need to break. Money doesn't make you superior, it just makes you wealthier. Different thing. Agreed. The rules were established, written down, signed by everyone. We were building new patterns, slowly, intentionally, with professional support. Year 6 was hard. Therapy revealed things we didn't want to face. My therapist, Dr. Sarah Chen, didn't pull punches. You've been conditioned to view family relationships transactionally. Every interaction assessed for value. Every gesture weighed for benefit. That's not family, that's business. I know. That's what we're trying to fix. Knowing isn't fixing. You need to feel it. Really feel the difference between transactional and relational love. How? By taking risks, giving without expecting return, showing up without calculating benefit. It'll feel uncomfortable, unnatural, like you're being stupid. But that discomfort is the conditioning dissolving. Push through it. I tried. Started calling my siblings just to talk. No agenda, no strategy, just connection. First call to Marcus. Hey, how are you? What do you need? Nothing, just wanted to check in. Oh, that's weird. I know, trying something different. Okay, I'm good. Work's busy. Kids are driving me crazy. Normal stuff. Want to grab coffee sometime? Just hang out? No agenda? No agenda. That's really weird. Yep, but I'm trying. You in? Yeah. Okay, I'm in. We met for coffee, talked about nothing important, work, kids, sports, just normal conversation. No strategy, no points, no hidden motives. It felt strange, vulnerable, like I was doing something wrong, but also nice, really nice. Afterward, Marcus texted, that was good, let's do it again. Agreed. Small progress, but real progress. Claire struggled more. Her therapist diagnosed her with trust issues stemming from the competition years. You can't believe people's motives are genuine anymore. Every gesture feels manipulative. Every kindness feels like strategy. Because for 3 years, everything was strategy. Exactly. So now you need to recalibrate, learn to accept genuine gestures without suspicion. How? Practice. Start small. When someone offers help, accept it. Don't analyze. Don't question. Just say yes and see what happens. She tried. Sophia offered to babysit Claire's kids. Claire's instinct? Suspicion. What does Sophia want? What's the angle? But she accepted anyway. Yes, thank you. That would be helpful. Sophia babysat. No problems, no hidden agenda, just genuine help. Claire told her therapist, it was hard to accept. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. For Sophia to leverage it somehow, but she didn't. She just helped. And how does that feel? Terrifying. Because if genuine help is possible, then I've been wrong. About everything. About all of them. And that means I damaged relationships based on false assumptions. Yes, that's the hard truth. You hurt people because you believed they were hurting you. But many times, they weren't. They were just being family. So I'm the villain? You're the victim of a system designed to create villains. But yes, you hurt people. And now you need to make amends. Claire apologized to all of us. Individual conversations, deep, genuine apologies. To me, Daniel, I'm sorry. You tried to resist the system, tried to maintain integrity, and I mocked you for it, called you weak, naive. I was wrong. You were right, and I'm sorry. I wasn't entirely right. I caved eventually, played the game. But you resisted first, tried to hold the line. That took courage. I didn't have that courage. I jumped in immediately, optimized from day one. I'm ashamed of that. We all did what we thought we had to do. That's generous, but I could have chosen differently. I chose wrong. I'm sorry. Apology accepted. Similar conversations with Marcus, Sophia, Ethan, all genuine, all necessary, all painful. We were excavating the damage, piece by piece, acknowledgement by acknowledgement. Sophia's reckoning came differently. She'd been the most strategic, the most optimized. She'd hired consultants, created systems, dominated the competition. Her therapist asked, "Why did winning matter so much?" "Because losing meant failure, and I can't be a failure." "Why not?" "Because? Because that's all I've ever been. Growing up, I was the middle child. Not the oldest, not the youngest, just middle, invisible, unremarkable. I needed to be exceptional at something. The trust gave me that opportunity to win, to be best, to matter. But you mattered before the trust. Did I? Who noticed? Who cared? Marcus was the achiever. Daniel was the moral one. Claire was the responsible one. Ethan was the baby. What was I? You were Sophia. That's enough. It's never been enough. The trust had given her an identity. Winner, champion, best. Without it, she didn't know who she was. "So now what?" her therapist asked. "Without competition, who are you?" "I don't know. That's terrifying." "Then maybe year 6 is about discovering who Sophia is when she's not competing, when she's just being." She tried. Quit her job, the one she'd optimized for professional achievement points. Took time off. Traveled. Explored. Found hobbies that weren't strategic. Pottery. Painting. Poetry. "I'm terrible at all of it," she told us at a family dinner. "But it's freeing, being bad at something without consequences, just enjoying the process." "That's growth," Ethan said, "real growth." "It feels vulnerable, like I'm exposing failure." "You're exposing humanity. Failure is human. Perfection is performance. We've had enough performance." She cried. Actual tears. "I don't know how to be human. The competition taught me to be strategic. I don't know how to just exist." "None of us do," I said. "We're all learning together." And we were. Year 6 was a year of unlearning, of recognizing damage, of building new patterns. It was hard, exhausting, sometimes demoralizing, but necessary. By the end of year 6, we'd made real progress, not healed, but healing. Year 7 brought new challenges. Marcus's marriage fell apart. His wife Jennifer had watched the 3-year competition with increasing concern. Watched Marcus become strategic, cold, calculating. She'd hoped year 6 would change him back, return him to the man she married, but the damage was deeper than 1 year could fix. "You're still competing," she told him, "with me, with the kids, with everyone. Everything's a transaction. Everything's measured. I can't live like this anymore. I'm trying to change." "I know, but trying isn't the same as changing, and I can't wait anymore." She filed for divorce. 20 years of marriage, over, because the trust had changed him fundamentally. Marcus was devastated. "I destroyed my marriage for money, for a fucking point system that doesn't even exist anymore." "You didn't destroy it for money," Ethan said. "You destroyed it by becoming someone else. The money was the catalyst, but the choices were yours." "So it's my fault." "It's complicated. The trust created terrible incentives. You responded to them. That's human. But you also chose to prioritize points over Jennifer multiple times, made her feel secondary, unimportant. She couldn't live with that. Can I fix it? I don't know. Maybe. But it'll take more than apologies. It'll take becoming a different person. Genuinely different. Not just trying to be different." Marcus threw himself into therapy. Intensive therapy. 3 times a week. Couples counseling with Jennifer. Individual work on himself. "I'm learning I have control issues," he told us. "Deep control issues. The trust exploited them, gave me a system to control, to dominate, and I leaned into it because control feels safe, but it's not safe. It's suffocating. Are you and Jennifer going to make it? Claire asked. I don't know. She's willing to try, but she's also prepared to leave. She's given me 1 year, show real change, or she's gone. That's fair. It's terrifying because I don't know if I can change fast enough or deeply enough. The patterns are so ingrained. You're recognizing them. That's step one. Step one of how many? Hundreds, maybe thousands. Change is gradual, incremental. You just have to keep stepping. He kept stepping, slowly, imperfectly, but consistently. By the end of year 7, Jennifer agreed to pause the divorce, not cancel it. Pause it. I see effort, she said. I see trying. That's enough for now. Not reconciliation, but not dissolution either. Progress. Meanwhile, Sophia's journey continued. Her year of exploration led to unexpected places. She met someone at a pottery class, a teacher, Sarah, kind, patient, unimpressed by money or status. Sarah doesn't care about the trust, Sophia told us. Doesn't care that I'm wealthy. Actually thinks it's weird that I'm still figuring out who I am at 37. What does she care about? Authenticity, creativity, growth. She thinks I'm interesting not because of what I have, but because of who I'm becoming. That's beautiful. It's terrifying. She sees me, really sees me, not my achievements or my money or my competitive record, just me. I don't know how to handle that. By letting her see you, continuously, vulnerably. What if she doesn't like what she sees? Then she's not your person. But you won't know unless you risk it. Sophia risked it, started dating Sarah, introduced her to the family, told her everything about the trust, the competition, the damage, the healing. Sarah listened, didn't judge, just understood. That sounds really hard. I'm sorry you went through that. It made me who I am, for better and worse. Mostly better, I think. You're thoughtful, self-aware, committed to growth. Those are good qualities. They're hard-won qualities, expensive qualities. The best qualities usually are. Sophia fell in love. Real love. Not strategic love, not conditional love. Just love, she told us at a family dinner. I'm moving in with Sarah. We're getting a place together. That's wonderful, Claire said. It's terrifying. I've never lived with someone who knows the real me, the damaged me. What if she changes her mind? What if she decides I'm too broken? What if she doesn't? I said. What if she loves you more because she knows the whole story, including the hard parts? Is that possible? It's the only kind of love worth having. Sophia moved in with Sarah, started building a life not defined by competition or money or achievement, just defined by connection, partnership, love. It was the first relationship in her life not tainted by the trust, and it changed her. I'm happier than I've ever been, she told us 6 months later. Not because Sarah's perfect or because the relationship is easy, but because it's real, authentic. No performance, no strategy, just us. That's the whole point, Ethan said. That's what Grandfather wanted us to learn. That real connection requires dropping the masks, risking the vulnerability, choosing people over protection. It took me 7 years to figure that out. Better late than never. Year 8 brought financial decisions. The trust provided $2 million annually. But the trust principal remained. $200 million, just sitting there, growing, untouched. Mr. Patterson raised the question. The trust allows for principal distributions with unanimous beneficiary consent. Have you considered accessing it? For what? Marcus asked. Whatever you want. Charity, investments, personal use. The money is yours, but it requires all 5 of you to agree. We discussed it. Family meeting, no hidden agendas, just open conversation. I don't need more money, Ethan said. 2 million a year is more than enough. Agreed, I said. What would we even do with it? We could donate it, Claire suggested. Start a foundation, like we talked about. Use it for good. How much? Sophia asked. All of it, the full 200 million. Create something meaningful, something that honors what we learned. Silence. Everyone processing. That's a lot of money to give away, Marcus said. Are we sure? Are you saying no? Ethan asked. I'm saying it's worth discussing. 200 million could secure our families for generations, give our kids trust funds, create dynasties. Or, I said, it could create the same problems we just spent 7 years recovering from. Pass on the trauma to the next generation. Not if we structure it differently. Every trust is structured differently. Grandfather thought his was structured well, for our growth, and look what happened. So we give it all away? Just surrender generational wealth because we're scared? We give it away because we learned the lesson. Money doesn't equal love. Security doesn't require millions. And generational wealth creates more problems than it solves. The debate continued. Hours, days, we couldn't agree. Finally, Sophia proposed a compromise. What if we each decide individually? We each get our $40 million share of the principal. Do with it what we want. Some donate, some keep, some invest. Individual choice. That defeats the purpose, Ethan said. Grandfather wanted us to make collective decisions, to choose as family. Individual choices are just more competition. Not competition, autonomy. We're different people with different values. We shouldn't be forced to agree on everything. But this is the test. Can we choose together? Can we prioritize collective good over individual preference? We voted. Sophia's compromise, 2 in favor, 3 against. My position, Ethan's and Claire's, donate everything. Unanimous decision required. Marcus and Sophia voted for individual autonomy. No consensus. The principle remained untouched, the question unresolved. It created tension, resentment, the old patterns creeping back. You're being controlling, Marcus said to me. I'm forcing your values on everyone. I'm not forcing anything. I'm advocating for collective choice. Big difference. You're using moral superiority to manipulate the outcome. I'm using arguments to persuade. That's how decisions work. We were fracturing again. Over money. Always money. Ethan called time out. We're falling back into competition. Different competition, but still competition. We need to table this. Come back to it when we can discuss without resentment. When will that be? Sophia asked. I don't know, maybe never. Maybe this is the one decision we can't make together, and we have to accept that. Grandfather would be disappointed. Grandfather is dead. This is our life, our choice. We get to decide what family means. And maybe family means agreeing to disagree on some things. We tabled it. Year 8 ended without resolution on the principle, but with renewed commitment to the relationships, because ultimately we realized the money didn't matter, the relationship did. And if we had to choose between unanimous decisions and family peace, we chose peace. That was growth, real growth. Year 9 brought grandfather's final revelation. Another letter, hidden, discovered by accident. Marcus was cleaning out grandfather's study, finally clearing the estate for sale, when he found it. Behind a false panel in the desk. Envelope addressed to all grandchildren, to be read 10 years after my death. We gathered. All 5 of us, Mr. Patterson present, opened the letter together. My dear grandchildren, if you're reading this, 10 years have passed. Enough time for lessons to sink in, for growth to occur, for wisdom to develop. I imagine you hate me, resent me, wish I'd structured the trust differently, more kindly, more conventionally. I'm not sorry. Kindness would have taught you nothing. Conventional would have made you comfortable, and comfortable people don't grow. You needed to experience corruption, needed to feel how money warps relationships, how incentives override intentions, how quickly love becomes conditional when dollars are involved. Now you know. You've lived it. You can't unknow it. But here's what I also hope you learned. You have choices. Always choices. The trust created incentives. But you chose how to respond. Some resisted. Some embraced. Some oscillated. All valid responses to an impossible situation. The final test was the principle. Whether you'd give it away or keep it. Whether you'd choose collective good or individual autonomy. Whether you'd trust each other enough to make decisions together. I don't know what you chose, but I know this. There's no right answer, only consequences. If you donated it, good. You learned generosity matters, but you also might have sacrificed individual freedom for collective virtue. And that has costs. If you kept it, also good. You learned autonomy matters, but you also might have missed the opportunity for collective impact. And that has costs too. Every choice has costs. The question is, which costs can you live with? I've left you one final decision, one final test. In this envelope is a key to a safety deposit box at First National Bank. In that box is $10 million. Cash, untraceable, not part of the trust. You have three options. 1, split it equally. 2 million each. Simple. Fair. Reinforces equality. 2, give it to whoever needs it most, whoever's struggling financially. Reinforces compassion. 3, destroy it, burn it, refuse it entirely. Reinforces principles over money. No right answer, only your answer. The answer that reflects who you've become after 10 years. Choose wisely or don't. Either way, you'll learn something. I love you. I always have, even when you hated me. William Harrison. We sat in stunned silence. He left us $10 million, Claire whispered, and 3 ways to claim it. He left us another test, Sophia corrected. Another manipulation. Or, Ethan said, he left us a choice, a real choice without points or strategy or competition, just us deciding based on values. What are our values? Marcus asked. That's the question, isn't it? We debated for weeks. Each option had merit. Each reflected something we'd learned. Split it equally. We're family. We share. No competition. Give it to who needs it. We care about each other. We help. No selfishness. Destroy it. We've learned money isn't everything. We don't need it. Principles over profit. But we couldn't agree. 3 weeks of discussion. No consensus. Finally, I proposed something. What if we don't decide? What if we leave it in the box? Never claim it, never resolve it, just acknowledge that some questions don't need answers. That's avoiding the choice, Maish, Marcus said. No, it's choosing not to let grandfather control us anymore. He's dead. The trust is settled. We've done the work. We don't owe him another test. We don't owe him our conflict. But the money is just money. We each make $2 million a year. We're financially secure. We don't need another $10 million. And we definitely don't need to fracture our family over it. Silence. Everyone processing. I like that, Sophia said. I like refusing to engage, refusing to let him manipulate us from beyond the grave. Agreed, Claire said. Agreed, Ethan echoed. Marcus hesitated, then nodded. Agreed. Fuck his final test. We're done being tested. We left the money unclaimed, told Mr. Patterson to leave it in the box, forever. Let it sit, untouched, unresolved, a final refusal, a final boundary, and it felt good. Really good. Year 10 arrived. The foundation launched, not funded by the trust principle. We hadn't resolved that either. Funded by our annual distributions, $1 million each, $5 million total. The Harrison Family Foundation for Relationship and Financial Education. Teaching people about money's corrupting influence, about competitive incentives in families, about choosing relationships over resources. We used our story, fully, anonymously, but completely. 5 siblings destroyed by competitive trust. Years of recovery, lessons learned. It resonated, people donated, corporations partnered. We reached thousands, maybe millions. And in teaching others, we completed our own healing. At year 10's family gathering, small, intimate, genuine, we reflected. 10 years ago, grandfather died, Ethan said, left us a trust designed to destroy us. It almost worked, Claire added. We got pretty destroyed. But we recovered, Sophia said. We chose to recover. That matters. Did we, though? Marcus asked. Are we really recovered? Or just managing, coping? Does it matter? I said. Recovery isn't about being perfect. It's about being better, choosing better. We're doing that. Are we? I still track things, still score interactions. The conditioning runs deep. Mine, too, Claire admitted. I still get suspicious when people help me, still assume ulterior motives. Same, Sophia said. Sarah calls me out on it constantly. I'm still learning to trust genuine gestures. So we're not recovered, Ethan concluded. We're recovering, present tense, ongoing, maybe forever. Is that okay? Marcus asked. Is forever recovery enough? It has to be, I said, because it's reality. We can't undo what happened, can't erase the conditioning. We can only keep choosing differently. Every day, every interaction, that's our victory. Not being healed, but choosing healing. Continuously, we toasted to grandfather, to the trust, to the damage and the recovery and the ongoing work. To 10 years of learning the hard way, Claire said. To family that survives impossible tests, Sophia added. To love that persists despite financial corruption, Ethan said. To choosing each other. Again and again and again, Marcus concluded. To all of it. I finished. The good, the bad, the complicated, all of it. We drank, and we meant it. Because that was the real lesson. The final lesson, the only lesson that mattered. Money corrupts. Incentives override intentions. Families fracture under financial pressure. But recovery is possible. If you choose it, if you work at it, if you value people more than profit. We made that choice, imperfectly, incompletely, but genuinely. And that was enough. More than enough. It was everything. 15 years after grandfather's death, I stood at the foundation's anniversary gala. 500 people, donors, partners, families we'd helped. The foundation had grown beyond anything we'd imagined. 50 million in annual grants, educational programs in 200 schools, online courses reaching hundreds of thousands, all teaching the same lesson. Money is a tool, not a master. Family is priceless. Choose relationships over resources. During my speech, I shared our story. Not anonymously this time, fully identified, names, details, everything. My grandfather left us a trust designed to make us compete, to turn family gatherings into strategic battles, to weaponize emotional connections for financial gain. And it worked. For 3 years, we destroyed each other, prioritized points over people, chose money over love. The audience was silent, listening, absorbing. But then we made a different choice. We ended the competition, chose equal distribution, started healing, and that healing has taken 12 years. 12 years of therapy, of mistakes, of backsliding, of slowly, painfully learning to be family again. I paused, looked at my siblings in the front row, all of them together. We're still learning, still recovering, still making mistakes, but we're doing it together as family, not as competitors. And that's the victory. Not being perfect, not being healed, just being committed to each other, to the work, to the choice to prioritize relationships over resources. Applause, standing ovation, but I wasn't done. Grandfather's trust taught us something valuable, something we've built this foundation to share. Financial incentives corrupt human relationships faster than almost anything else. Family businesses fracture. Inheritance battles destroy. Competitive trusts weaponize love. And it happens so gradually, so subtly, that you don't notice until the damage is done. I showed the audience a chart. This is our family's point distribution over the 3 competitive years. Watch how it fluctuates, how we each optimized, how relationships became transactional, how every gathering became strategic. The chart showed exactly what I described: wild fluctuations, arms races, competitive optimization, everything grandfather designed. Now, here's the question: is your family doing this? Maybe not with explicit points, but with implicit scorekeeping? Who visits more? Who calls more? Who helps more? Who contributes more? Are you tracking, scoring, competing? Uncomfortable shifting in the audience. Because, yes, many of them were. It's human nature. We're wired to track fairness, to notice imbalances, to keep score. But when that scorekeeping becomes the relationship, when the points matter more than the people, that's when families fracture. That's when love becomes conditional. That's when grandfather's lesson applies. I click to the next slide. Our family now. Photo from last month's gathering. All of us. Laughing, genuine, happy. This is possible. Recovery is possible, but it requires choosing it. Every day, every interaction, choosing people over points, choosing connection over calculation, choosing love over ledgers. The speech ended. More applause, but also tears. Recognition. People seeing themselves in our story. Afterward, dozens approached me. That's my family. We're doing exactly what you described. How do we stop? I gave them resources, referrals, tools, but ultimately, the same answer: you choose. You choose to stop scorekeeping, and you keep choosing until it becomes natural again. At the after party, my siblings gathered. That was intense, Marcus said, putting it all out there like that. It needed to be said. People need to know this happens, that it's not rare, that families destroy themselves over money all the time. Do you think we'll ever fully recover? Claire asked. Or is this just permanent damage management? I don't know. Maybe there's no such thing as full recovery. Maybe we'll always be people shaped by those 3 years, but shaped doesn't mean destroyed. We're building something new, that's enough. Sophia added, Sarah asked me yesterday if I regret it. The trust, the competition, the damage, and I realized I don't, because it led me here, to recovery, to growth, to understanding what actually matters. Would I have learned that without the pain? I don't know. Maybe not. That's generous, Ethan said. I still resent grandfather for putting us through this, for choosing cruelty over kindness. But his cruelty taught us something kindness wouldn't have, I said. It taught us how fragile relationships are, how easily corrupted by incentives, how quickly love becomes conditional when money's involved. That's a valuable lesson, even if the delivery was brutal. Are you defending him? No, I'm acknowledging complexity. He was cruel and right, manipulative and insightful, harmful and educational. All true simultaneously. Marcus raised his glass. To grandfather, bastard, teacher, the man who almost destroyed us and inadvertently saved us. We toasted to complexity, to the impossible truth that harm and growth can coexist, that damage and development can intertwine. The gala raised $8 million, funded another year of programs, reached another 100,000 families. Every dollar a small victory against the forces grandfather unleashed. Every program a small repair of the damage he caused. Every family helped a small redemption for ours. 20 years after grandfather's death, the foundation had reached a milestone. 1 million families educated, $150 million distributed, countless relationships saved. We gathered for the anniversary. not just siblings anymore, spouses, children, grandchildren, the next generation. Marcus's daughter, Emily, 16, asked to interview me for a school project about Grandpa William's trust, about what happened. Sure. What do you want to know? Did you hate him for what he did? Sometimes, especially during the competitive years, I hated him for creating a system that turned us against each other, for being cruel, for choosing manipulation over support. And now I understand him better. He lived through the Depression, built his wealth from nothing, saw money destroy people constantly. He wanted us to understand that, to really understand it. So he created a scenario that forced us to experience it. But couldn't he have just told you instead of making you compete? Would we have listened? Would telling have had the same impact as experiencing? I don't know, maybe? Probably not. Knowing something intellectually is different from knowing it viscerally. Grandfather made sure we knew it viscerally, that we felt the corruption, lived the damage. That knowledge changed us fundamentally, shaped who we became, for better and worse. Do you think it was worth it? The pain? The damage? I thought carefully. Worth is the wrong word. Was it necessary? Maybe. Did it teach us things we couldn't have learned otherwise? Probably. Did it come at enormous cost? Absolutely. Is the foundation we built sufficient compensation for that cost? I don't know. Ask me in another 20 years. Emily smiled. That's an honest answer. It's the only answer I have. She paused. One more question. If you could go back, change what happened, would you? I'd been asked this before, by therapists, by siblings, by myself in quiet moments, and my answer had evolved over 20 years. No, I wouldn't change it, because changing it would mean changing who I am, who we all are, the relationships we've built, the work we've done, the foundation we've created. All of that grew from the damage. I hate that. I wish growth could come from kindness, but it didn't. It came from crisis, from fracture, from the impossibly hard work of recovery. And I can't wish away the crisis without wishing away the recovery. So no, I wouldn't change it. Even though it hurt, especially because it hurt. Pain teaches, comfort doesn't. Grandfather understood that. I hated him for it, but he was right. Emily's project won first place. The story resonated. Other students saw their families in it. Other teachers shared it. It went viral locally, then nationally. We were contacted by universities, research institutions, family therapists, everyone wanting to study our story, to understand the mechanics of how family relationships fracture under financial pressure and how they recover. We cooperated, opened our records, shared everything, made ourselves a case study. Because if our damage could help others avoid similar pain, that was worth something. Maybe not worth the original cost, but worth the vulnerability of exposure. The Foundation's work evolved, started offering family mediation services, trust structure consultation, inheritance planning with relationship preservation, all informed by our experience. This is your legacy, Claire told me at one family dinner. Not the trust, not the money. This, the foundation, the teaching, the healing work. It's our legacy, all of us. You started it. Grandfather started it. I just redirected it. Give yourself credit, Daniel. You could have stayed bitter, stayed angry. Instead, you built something meaningful. That matters. Did it matter? I wanted to believe so. Wanted to believe that sharing our pain prevented others, that our story served as warning, as lesson, as hope. But I also knew every family is different, every situation unique. Our story might help some, might harm others, might be irrelevant to most. All we could do was share truthfully, completely, and let people take what they needed. 25 years after Grandfather's death, I received a letter from Mr. Patterson's office. He'd retired years ago, passed the trust management to his successor, but he'd left something, a final letter to be delivered on this anniversary. Dear Daniel and siblings, I've managed hundreds of trusts in my career, seen every configuration, every structure, every family dynamic. Your grandfather's trust was the most unusual, most controversial, most potentially harmful. I argued against it, told him it would destroy you. He didn't care, said destruction was part of the teaching. I thought he was wrong, cruel, potentially evil, but I was instructed to follow the trust as written. So I did, watched it unfold, watched you compete, fracture, suffer, and then watched you recover, rebuild, grow. I need you to know your recovery wasn't guaranteed. Most families don't survive competitive trusts. They fracture permanently, stop speaking, cut each other off, let the damage become permanent. You chose differently, chose healing, chose each other. That wasn't the trust's design. That was your choice, your character, your commitment. William Harrison gave you an impossible test, but you passed. Not by winning the competition, by ending it, by refusing to let money define relationships, by choosing family over finance. That's rare, precious, worth celebrating. I retired believing your grandfather was cruel. I die believing he was brilliant, because he gave you a crisis that revealed your character. And your character was strong enough to survive it. That's his real legacy. Not the money, the revelation of who you are when tested to breaking, and the choice you made when you could have stayed broken. Well done, all of you. Respectfully, Henry Patterson. We read it together at yet another family gathering. 25 years of gatherings, no longer strategic, no longer competitive, just family. He thought we passed, Sophia said quietly. Did we? Marcus asked. Does it matter what he thinks? Ethan responded. He's dead. They're all dead. Grandfather, Mr. Patterson, everyone who designed this test. We're the ones who have to live with the results. Do we think we passed? Silence, everyone reflecting. I think we're passing, I said finally. Present tense, ongoing. We made the choice to heal. We're still making it. Every day, every gathering, every interaction where we choose connection over calculation. That's passing, not perfectly, but sufficiently. I'll take sufficient, Claire said. After 25 years of effort, sufficient feels like victory. Agreed, we toasted. To sufficiency, to ongoing effort, to imperfect recovery, to 25 years of choosing each other, to 25 more, because that's what family is. Not perfection, not unchanging love, not unconditional support, but choice. Continuous choice. Choosing to show up, choosing to try, choosing to forgive, choosing to grow, choosing each other. Again and again and again. That's what grandfather's trust taught us. Not through the competition, but through the recovery. The competition showed us what we could become when money mattered most. Strategic, cold, destructive. The recovery showed us what we could become when people mattered most. Committed, vulnerable, connected. Both versions exist in us. Always will. The choice is which one we feed, which one we choose, which one defines us. For 25 years, we've chosen the second version, and we'll keep choosing it until the choice becomes instinct, until family feels natural again, until love flows without calculation. Maybe that'll take another 25 years. Maybe it'll never fully happen. Maybe we'll always be people shaped by competitive trauma working to overcome it. But we're working together. That's what matters. The foundation continues, now in its third decade, reaching millions, teaching the lessons we learned the hard way. Our children run it now. Emily, Sophia's daughter with Sarah, Claire's twin sons, the next generation, learning from our mistakes, building on our insights, doing better. They didn't experience competitive trust, didn't fracture under financial pressure, didn't need to recover from family warfare. They just got the lessons, the wisdom, the understanding, without the pain. That's our gift to them. The pain we endured, so they wouldn't have to. The lessons we learned, so they'd know better. The recovery we achieved, so they'd have a model. Not perfect parenting, not flawless family, but functional, aware, committed. And that's everything. Grandfather's trust was worth $200 million. In cash terms, enormous wealth. But the real value wasn't the money, it was the lesson, the transformation. The family that emerged from crisis stronger, wiser, more intentional. That's worth more than 200 million, more than 2 billion, more than any dollar amount. Because you can't buy wisdom, you can't purchase growth, you can't inherit recovery. You have to earn it through pain, through work, through choosing better continuously. We earned it. 25 years of choosing, 25 years of working, 25 years of recovering, and we'll keep earning it for the rest of our lives. Because family isn't a destination. It's a journey, an ongoing choice, a continuous commitment. That's grandfather's final lesson, the one that took 25 years to fully understand. Love isn't something you have. It's something you do every day, every interaction, every choice. Choose it. Keep choosing it. That's all there is. That's everything there is, and that's enough. More than enough. It's everything.